We are now going to our committee reports. Finance will be first. Finance Committee Chair Belknap, are you ready? I'm trying to catch up on my split screen, but I believe proposed motions will be Jeff will be putting on a screen, but I want to make sure I stay caught up.
Are you ready, Chair?
No.
Okay.
Yes. I can't get my split screen. So Jeff will be rescuing me here.
Okay. This is the USB Financial Committee report from July 10th, 2020. We're going to go to 9.3 R277726, the statewide online education program. The committee motion was that Board Member Bolter moved that the committee voted unanimously to approve R277726, statewide online education program draft 3 on first reading.
Okay, the motion before the board is that the board approve R277-726 draft 3 on second and final reading.
Chair,
Yes.
I would like to amend this motion.
Okay.
I'd like to amend the motion that it be referred back to the Finance Committee as we have found some new information about some research we need to do.
Okay. We have a proposed amendment to the committee's motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that, Chair Huntsman Mark Marsh.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion to send it back. You spoke to why. Any discussion from board members? I'm seeing no hands. So the motion before the amended motion before the board is to to bring back R277-726. We're going to vote on that. All in favor, please vote. Voting is complete, and it appears to be, it is unanimous. The proposed amendment carries, so we're going back. Okay?
Thank you,
Please
Chair.
continue.
We're going to go on to 9.5, R277419 pupil accounting amendment. As you remember, this was brought back on our July 23rd meeting. However, there's been one additional change brought by staff and also some information from legislators. So we'd like to make an emergency rule motion for the board that the board approve R277419 pupil accounting draft 5 on final reading and request that staff file R277419 draft 5 with the Office of Administrative Rules as an emergency rule. And I'll speak to that if we get a second, Chair.
Okay, so the proposed motion is that the board, I'm trying to track it here, that the board approve staff filing R277-419 draft 5 approved by the board on July 23rd, 2020 with the Office of Administrative Rules as an emergency rule. Is that correct?
Yeah, but this is not, draft 4 was approved on the 23rd. This is draft 5. It has some changes in it.
Okay, so I need to, the way that I'm seeing it on my screen is not how you stated it. So
Angie, can you pull up the motion?
Yeah, sorry, let me grab that really quickly and put it on the shared doc.
Chair, while this motion's coming, oh, we don't have a second yet. I was going to speak to it.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Board Member Lear.
Thank you. While they're pulling this up, Chair, and then you can reread it. It's lines 612 to 619. And what it includes is it directs the superintendent to take 2 polls of our districts, one in September and one at a later date, so we can track the movements of kids this year that will help us with our the goal of the 990 to the 180 to track it better.
Okay, the amended motion would, boy, I'm getting a lot of, can you guys hear me? Okay, the amended motion on R277-419 is this, that the board approve R277-419 draft 5 on final reading and request the staff file R277-419 draft 5 with the Office of Administrative Rules as an emergency rule. That is your motion, correct, Chair?
Yes.
Okay. Discussion to the motion. Board Member Hanson.
I noticed from the committee memo that Board Member Cummins spoke against this one and then wasn't present for the vote. I wondered if she could help us understand her objections.
Vice Chair.
Chair, would you like me to speak to that?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I didn't object entirely. I just wanted to make sure that, because one of the initial criteria in this was just to have a waiver of the 990 flat out for all of those LEAs who submitted a plan. It's kind of that idea, well, all LEAs will submit a plan, therefore they automatically have a waiver from the 990. So we, it was just the idea of making sure that that 990 was preserved and the waiver was available for those who had a very deliberate plan and needed that waiver. So, and then Board Member Newell came back to the committee, so I was not present as a committee member at that point. So that was the discussion. Thanks, Board Member Hanson.
Can I follow up, Chair?
Yes.
So with the amendments that were made, Vice Chair Cummins, does that satisfy your concerns, or do you still have those concerns?
No, those were satisfied, and the draft that we passed at our last board meeting satisfied those concerns that I had. I think this is just to address, these new amendments were to address something entirely different that's popped up.
Thank you. Board Member Lear.
Yes, I just would request, in light of the way this rule reads, that whenever it is discussed by staff, that they would remind LEAs, or that it would be clear that this is a 1-year implementation timeline, so there won't be confusion at the end of the year if something changes. I just think it's very important to emphasize that this is a 1-year standard. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Board Member Earl.
Yes, I'm wondering if staff or someone could speak to the usage of this data. Is this just to take account as to students at the beginning and end, just so we have an idea of how many students are in the system and where they're at? Or what are all the usage or the exact purpose of this?
Chair, would you like me?
Yes.
This is
Angie. Go ahead.
Yes. Deputy Superintendent of Policy, Angie Stallings. So, and Deputy Superintendent Jones may correct me or add if he'd like, but the reason we'll be looking at this data is we've received many concerns from our school districts and charter schools that are either anticipating large increases in student enrollment or large decreases in student enrollment as were anticipated or estimated during the 2020 session. just as a refresher, every year we get those estimates prepared in October. It's a joint effort of the fiscal analyst's office, our staff, and the governor's office to come up with some consensus estimates of where enrollment's going to be. And funding is distributed to school districts and charter schools beginning July 1 on those estimates. Normally, the corrections occur related to that funding in December based on the October 1 counts. What we're hoping to accomplish by taking this poll on September 9th is to identify if our estimates are wildly off course and whether or not there may need to be some interventions earlier on before the 2021 general session to funding.
Thank you. That helped to clarify what I was wondering about there. So I appreciate that.
Perfect. Can you put back up the proposed amendment? Oh. Okay, the motion that's before the board is that the board approve R277-419 draft 5 on final reading and request the staff file R277-419 draft 5 with the Office of Administrative Rules as an emergency rule. Not seeing any hands on this. Please vote. The voting is complete and the motion passes unanimously. Please continue.
Thank you, Chair.
Chair Billner.
9.6, it's for the FY20 out-of-state tuition reimbursement. The committee moves that the board approve out-of-state tuition reimbursements for Box Elder, Kane, and South Summit school districts.
Okay, the motion before the board is that the board approve out-of-state tuition reimbursements for Box Elder, Kane, and South Summit school district. Discussion to the motion. Board Member Lear, is your hand up for a question? Or?
It is. It's up on purpose.
Okay, got it.
I with both South Summit and Box Elder, and I don't think this is really a controversial vote, but I will not vote. There we go. Abstain from voting. There we go.
I'm not seeing any discussion to the motion. The motion before the board that the board approve out-of-state tuition reimbursement for Box Elder, Kane, and South Summit school districts. So at this time, board members, please vote. Okay, the voting, looks like everyone's voted. Board Member Lear, abstained from voting, and the motion passes unanimously.
I didn't see a vote from a member Hanson.
Oh, I thought I did. Thank you. Board Member, without, okay, everyone please re-vote and put your, thought I saw.
Thank you.
Okay. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. I'm going to turn my vote off. We're leaving, some of you guys are leaving your hands and votes on. Okay, thanks. Okay, please continue.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to thank my committee again for all their hard work and how hard they prepare before and well read when they come to committee. So I appreciate the committee itself and the staff that supports us. Thank you. That's the end of my report.
And thank you, Chair.